I welcome you for this complete course on Excel VBA. So, the term VBA means it is actually okay. I'll just introduce about the entire content. It is a full course. We'll starting from very basic scratch on VBA. If you have some prior knowledge on how to work on Excel, it will be fine. Okay. If you don't have any prior knowledge on Excel, you can just navigate to our channel, which you are presently there. You can just find the basics of Excels. Okay, so what is meant by VBA? Okay, so the VBA is nothing but it's a visual basis for application. Okay, so in this 10 hours we are going to deal only with VBA and macros. Okay, so what is meant by VBA? Okay, I give you an example like your computer. Okay, your computer runs on certain OS, whether it may be Windows, Linux, or anything like that, right? So that Windows, that OS just runs and get you the entire computer to get perform, right? Same wise, VBA is the programming language. Okay, VBA is the programming language to create macros. Okay, so we'll be working on VBA to create some macros. Okay, what is macros? Macros are something like a programming code, okay, that run on Excel environment. So if I just develop a Python, it will work on Python environment, coding, everything, right? So if we want to do coding in Excel, we should do macros. Okay, so this is the basic thing about VBA and macros. So what is meant by, here comes the next task, what is meant by macros? As I said earlier, macros are programming codes that are used to perform some automatic and routine tasks. Right? So what to mean by automatic and routine again? So two letters are getting highlighted again. So what is mean by that? So I can say if let me just go back to my Excel. Okay, so I can say if I enter this value in this cell, automatically get me something. So in the next line, when I just fill this, automatically it does the thing, right? Instead of going to each and every line and saying do this, do that, do this, do that repetitively, I can just program some codes. Whenever I give input, automatically it does the function. Okay, so routine task. What is meant by routine? So our routine is like I'll be getting up in the morning, I'll brush, right? Then I'll just get ready, I'll take my car, and then I'll go to my office, right? That is my daily routine, right? Then I'll be back in the evening, I'll just relax for some time, and then I will start my work. This is my routine, right? So if you see my routine, it will be every day it will be same, right? So every day in the morning I'll just wake up, I'll just brush, right? So I don't want to do, or I don't want to command my Excel every day. Instead I can just write a code and I say do it daily, do it regularly. Okay, I can just make my Excel, for example, I'm saying for my Excel I just say remind me daily morning that I want to take some tablets. I don't want to say my Excel, I don't want to get I just remind that Excel every night, I say remind me in the morning. I don't want to say that. I just program it once, and every day morning at that time it just pops me a message. Okay, so the other example which I want to say you is you people might have found, right? You people will be frequently getting messages from companies, some marketing companies or even educational companies. This course is available, you can just join. The seats are very less, they'll be doing, right? Even they will be, you will be getting n number of messages from your network provider. They will be saying this plan is there, this plan is there, you just get that, right? So how is that possible to send hundreds and hundreds of lakhs of messages in a single click? They'll be using this VBA. Okay, with this VBA, with a single click, what they does is they will get their job done. And they want to program it only once, they will just program it only once, and every time they don't want to make that big deal, they will just do a click. so that their job is done in a fraction of a second. Okay, so I guess you got some basic overview on what is VBA and macros. Okay, so what next? I'll just start off with basic macros. Okay, so in this table, I just have some datas, some raw datas, right? So I have what is that? First, I have employer ID and then last name, first name, and then what department they belong to, and then their email, then extension, their location, their date of joining, and then their pay rate. Per hour, they'll be getting this pay rate. Right? So I have this. I have a raw data. I have my raw data, right? So the first thing what we'll be doing, we want to short it down. I will use a header. Okay, I'll be using an header and then I'll be highlighting the header. I'll be doing many things. I'll just make it bold. I'll just make the things easier. I just short it. I'll just make this similar things here. I will just make the entire things it's in an unsorted manner, right? 4 16 19 like that. It's very unsorted, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to short it down. Okay, in your Excel, okay, in your Excel, okay, if you just see, okay, so the first thing before starting with Excel macros, is to enable your developer option in your Excel program. How to do that? How to enable your developer option? See, I have a developer option here, but you people might be having home, insert, page layout until view will be having, right? So you won't be having a developer. So how to enable the developer? Right, we have a number of ways to enable the developer option, but I'll say the most easiest way so that you can just enable your developer option within a couple of clicks. Okay, so what I'm doing, I have my ribbon here, right? I'm just right clicking on my ribbon, any one ribbon. Okay, I get an option, customize the ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to customize my ribbon. Okay, customize it. So I get my pop-up out. So there I get customize my ribbon again. So in that, if you just navigate to the right side of your box, you have home tab. Yes, I have home tab, insert, okay, formulas. Here you will find your thing will be unchecked. Make sure you check it, and then if you see okay, your developer option appears. So this is very simple, right? So we have enabled developer option in our Excel. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, so we just saw here automatic and routine task. Okay, we are going to do it automatic and routine task. Okay, so I am going to get an assistant. Okay, so I am going to hire an assistant now. Okay, I'll teach you very basic now. Okay, so I am going to get the assistants. Okay, so I am going to call a guy and I am going to make him to sit and see what is going to do, what I am going to do. Okay, so that guy's name is, okay, so if I just take an assistant and I say please look at what I'm doing, and from next time onwards you do that. Okay, I'll be teaching you this now, and from next time onwards you just do by your own. Okay, I'll be teaching once only, you should do the rest. Next time onwards, if you just get the same thing, you should do. Okay, that's the property of our employee, right? So we can teach them, they should be doing from the next time, right? So I am going to hire an employee. So who can I hire? So I can hire a local guy from my area. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hire a macros. Okay, so in the developer tab, okay, in the developer tab, in the code group, you can find a thing called record macros. So what it does, okay, so it's gonna record what and all we are going to do. Okay, so it is, as of now, this is our assistant. So he is going to assist us, he is going to record, he is going to watch what we are going to do, so that in the next coming days or next coming programs he'll do the rest. I don't want to do, if I just give a single click, he'll do the rest. Okay, see now, so I just record this. So when I click that, it's just asking me. Okay, so it's asking me what is this macro name. I'll just say my tool, my sorted data. I'll use caps. Okay, we can use spaces, but as a conventional point of view. Okay, we won't be use spaces here. Instead you can use capital. Okay, so you, then very next thing, I just gave the macros name to be this, and as it's asking a shortcut key. Okay, shortcut key is asking control plus, what under letter you can just give, you can give, but make sure, okay, but keep in mind you cannot override an existing shortcut. Suppose we'll be using control plus C to copy things, right? The same like control plus V to paste thing. Like that we cannot use. Some things are different, like predefined things we cannot disturb. Instead I can give J. Okay, so J I kept. So it's asking where to store this micro. So let me say this workbook, let me store in this workbook itself. Okay, so I'm just saying what is the description. So I'll say I am going to short the data and looks so presentable. Okay, I just give my description. Okay, I'll say okay, just create. It start recording. See, it start recording, right? It started to record. So it will be recording what I did. What I'm going to do is start recording. Okay, my assistant is going to watch what I'm going to do. Okay, so what first should do, I will add a header. Okay, so I'll be going here, right click, insert a header. Okay, in the header I'll just write this is employee ID. Okay, and then I say this is last name, this is first, and then name, this is his, what do I say, department, this is department, this is his mail ID. Okay, sorry, mail ID, this is his extension, this is his location, this is his date of joining, date of joining. Okay, and then this will be his pay rate. I just made everything out of this, right? So the very next thing what I'm doing, I just make everything aligned equally. So I'm going to home, I'm just going to align everything equally and in the center. I did this, right? So the next thing what I'm going to do, I will be changing the background. I'll fill with some blue, and then let us be white, and let it be bold. Okay, so I made this. Okay, then what I'm going to do, this is pay rate, so I'll be adding some, what to say, I'll be adding some I'll be adding dollar symbol here, right? So I'll use Control Shift down to select entire things instead of selecting a single thing from first, right? So what I'm going to do again, I'll add dollar. Sorry, this should be just a second, guys. I forgot the first three. Okay, let me cut this. Let me add a row here. Insert, insert, and then insert. Let me cut these out. Control X, and then let me paste it here. Okay, let me delete it off this. Delete, and then delete, and then delete. Okay, I did. Okay, so I'll be adding a dollar symbol here. Okay, so I'll add dollar here. Okay, so what next I can do, I'll just say control this. Okay, I'll just add a border to it, all borders, and then thick borders outside. So I did this, so I'll just do with date also. So I'll short date nicely. I'll say this date, instead of date we'll just go to custom. Okay, we'll find which date we want, how like we want. I will say month, and then date, and then year. Okay, so everything gets shorted out. See, if I just click OK, so everything is good, right? It's looking good now, right? Okay, so my guy is watching. He's watching. See, he's watching. He's watching. We didn't stop recording, right? He's watching. So I'll just make this letter white. I'll make it bold. Okay, so at last what we can do, I can just navigate to the data tab. I can filter it. Control Z. I can just use filter option. Okay, I can filter it. So see, now it was, before it was an unsorted one, but now I sorted it everything. I spent some 5 minutes to sort out my things, right? I just spent some 5 minutes to sort out my things. Is that right or not? So I can just make this now smaller, this again larger. So I can do something like this, and I can just go and I say I can do anything, right? I can just go to formulas tab, any tab, I can just do whatever I need. I was doing that, right? So my assistant is keep on watching. See, you can just notice here, he didn't stop, he was watching. He was watching us, what we are doing, he's watching. Okay, so I'll say this fellows, simply I'll color them. I'll color them. Okay, I'll just add some colors to them. Just add some colors to them. Okay, so what I did, I just shorted. I just made my assistant to sit next to me and he's watching what we are doing, right? So I am done with it. So I have did everything. I sorted everything. I spent a span of 5 minutes to sort out everything. Okay, so what is our next thing? We are done with that, right? So we don't want our assistant to sit it also with us. So what I'm going to do next? So I'm going to send him, developer, you stop recording, man. You just do your work. I just stopped recording him. Okay, so what we did now, we just took our assistant to sit next to us and he just saw what we were doing. Okay, he was seeing. Okay, he was first inserting a row and then he was just using some headers, and then he just changed the colors to be background colors to be blue, and then he just bolted the letters, and then he added dollars to it, and then he just changed the date of the joining. Okay, he did everything. What is the next thing? Then once he's done, he just stopped me watching. Okay, this is done. So what and all I did till now, you want to do in the next things. So he assigned me the work. Okay, so now he saw everything. Now I'll ask you the other question. Okay, here I just, instead of saying date of joining, I mention, oops, I just mentioned date of joining. So this is not the correct thing, right? I should mention date of joining. Now if I change, my fellow is not recording. If I change now, oops, he won't be there. What he will do, as of his knowledge, he will say date of joining, right? Or else the second option is, whether I should start from very basic thing. I should do undo everything, and I just start doing like from first onwards, just insert a row, then this that. Do I want to do? No, you can just edit the macros. So I'll be teaching you now how to edit your macros. Okay, so what we did, VBA is a programming tool to develop an macros. Okay, so here as a basic thing, what we are doing, we are not gonna type anything, we just record the macros what we are doing, and we are converting it into a VBA. Okay, so we did recording, right? So we'll see how the recording looks like. So for that, I'll just go to my developer tab. Okay, here I have Visual Basic. Okay, here I have my Visual Basic. So if I click that, you can see, oh, some other window pops up. What is that? So this is the Microsoft's Visual Basic for application. This is the Visual Basic environment we are gonna work with. Okay, so what I did, I just went to my developer tab and I just say Visual Basic. It just pops me my Visual Basic environment. Okay, so my assistant was sitting and he was just listening my words, right? He would have took some notes, right? So where is the notes have been? So what and all you recorded, it will be stored in the name called modules. Okay, if I just open the module, I have the my module 1. So we just named my sorted data, right? So this is the thing he got recorded. Okay, this is the VBA program what we have done. We inserted a row, we inserted a then we just enter a header, we just made some changes, right? We just make it bold, we just colored it, we did everything, right? This is the thing, this is the code what we have done. This is the code, this is the code. Okay, this is the code what and all we did, that my assistant have written a note which is called VB. Okay, this is the program. So what we are supposed to do, we want to change data of joining as date of joining. If you scroll down, you can say this active cell formula R1C1, that the data was data of joining. Instead of that, I can say date of joining. Okay, this is the thing, you can see what we did. So we just entered before, right? In that, if you just say Control J, it is a shortcut to open this. First, what we did, we zoomed in, we just active zoom. We first was zooming, we zoomed it, right? We just zoomed our entire window. Okay, and then what we did, we just inserted a row in A4. Instead of first column, we just inserted in the middle, right? So we just inserted the row in A4, and then what we did, we named the entire headers, and then we just what we did, we just changed the orientation. What we did, in center middle we kept, no, And then what we did, we were changing the centers, and then we were changing the colors patterns, and then we just introduced dollar, right, currency we were changing, and then we were making it everything center, and then we moved up everything, and then we add currency again. Okay, so we were doing this, right? Then we changed month, day, year. These and all what we did, right? Then we changed the column thing, right? Column width of the column, we changed that. A column, B column, we changed the width, right? So that also we did, right? This is the entire program what we did. This is correct or not? So if I close this, see, still it is date of joining. What is this? What is that? Why it is changed? If I just use, okay, if I still use, I'm not getting. See, I'll delete it off. I'll just show you again. So this is what the thing asking, right? So now I'm going to Visual Basics again. I'm saying run this code. If I check now, I've got it again another thing. What is that? What is that? What it does here? See, it introduces a thing. It did the thing. Is it? I'll show you another example. See, I'll just come over again from first. Okay, I'll tell you again, this is very basic thing. I'll just come over again what we have taught. Okay, I'll just go and delete it here. Okay, this module I'm deleting. Okay, so here we have an option called export or view or something like that. We have an option of delete. Either we can dock, we are all dockable. So dock, what is dockable? Dock is nothing but if I just disable this, you can't use this. If you just use dock only, you can just edit that. Okay, so I'll just repeat what I did again. So here it was not there, right? Delete, sorry, delete this. So listen carefully what I did. Okay, I'll just make this background to be white again. Okay, so what we are going to do, this also we just changed. Okay, we remove dollar. How to remove it? How to remove that? Can anyone say how to remove that? We just introduced dollar, we want to remove. What are you supposed to do? Okay, so what I'm going to do here in this, I'm going to say let it be something like shortage. Okay, it's in some sort of matter. This is what we have first, right? So I'll just quickly recap what we are going to do. I'm going to get my assistant in developer tab. I just record what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'll make my record name as short my data properly. If I use control plus L, it should may print me that. Okay, so description is example. So simply we are going to do an example. Okay, so it started watching my thing. Okay, so first what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert a row. Then I'll say employer ID, and then last name. Okay, department ID, extension, location, date of joining. Okay, and then this is to be pay rate. Okay, so I did this. Then what I'm doing, I'm making everything bold, then I fill a color to it, and I'll make them this. Then what I'm doing, uh, I'll just select everything, control shift down, control shift this side, and make everything have a border. Okay, all borders, and then outside the border. Okay, then what else I'm doing, let me increase the font size of this, then and then I'm going to change the width. Okay, I changed the width so that everything is good. Okay, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap, I'm doing set of things, right? So I'm going to wrap things, and what I'm going to do next, I'm going to align it everything in a good manner, right? Then I'm going to use dollar here for everything. Okay, dollar. Okay, here I'll just use custom data format so that it looks good. Okay, more form data, customs. Okay, I'll say month month, date date, year year. Okay, it's just asserted, right? So what I'm going to do again in my developer, I'll say stop recording. Okay, so if I want to edit anything, I can just go to my Visual Basics. Here I can see in my modules, if I close this, if I open, sorry, I'm supposed to stop this, right? Stop this, sorry, we stopped it. We just go to Visual Basics, and then if we see modules, we can find only one module. And if you just see, I have my sorted data, or sort my data properly. This is what we created now. Okay, so we have the things, what all we did, we have the things. Okay, my assistant got noted down, so I want to check whether he did correctly or not. So what I'm going to do, okay, what I'm going to do, I'll close this. I created another test macros, how our initial sheet was there. Here what I'm going to see, last time I just spent some merely 5 minutes to code my entire program, right? Now I'm just going to use a single click so that everything just do it by their own. Okay, so I'm going to insert in developer tab, in controls, say insert. In the very first thing, let me zoom in. In the very first thing, you'll have an insert. So insert, the first thing you have is a button. So if I just click that, and if I see something here, I have a plus mark. So if I click anywhere here, it just asks me, it's a button click. Okay, button click. And then what you want to do? My sorted data or sort my data properly? My, which one? Which one we just used now? Which was the first, last one we were using? Which was the last one, guys? Which one the last one we are using? Here we were using like some Visual Basics. Yeah, sort my data properly. Okay, so I just close this. Okay, I'll go to this, and I say in this button, what I, let me just delete it, let me cover again. So insert button, I just place somewhere here. Okay, when I place, it's asking, okay, what is the name of the button? Okay, let it be button 1. Sorry, button 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do, sort my data properly, which program you want to write. So it say this, then it say okay. So it was button, I can say, I can rename it. I'll say like, what to say, I'll say run magic. Okay, so I just assign run magic. See, if I click now, what I did here, it just got in a single click, right? What I did here, when I just click that button, it just did everything here. Is it so? Okay, what I, in a fraction of second, what I did, it did in a single click, right? So I'll just do one more time. See, if I have something, see, I delete this. Okay, I'll delete this entire row, and we were having this something like unsorted data, right? Unsorted data, some dates we had, and we hadn't have anything here. Okay, we have some general numbers. Okay, so I don't want to use my 5 minutes of my time saying like insert a row, do this, do that, do this. No, I don't want to do. I'll just say my assistant, my this button, if I just click it, it does my thing. It does everything, right? So this is where the macros exist. Okay, so what we did here is we didn't write any program. Instead we just asked our assistant to see what we are going to do, and he wrote our program. So the assistant here is, we used record macros. Okay, so we use record macros. So it will be recording. So if I just you insert a row, it will say okay, it will just write a program for us. Okay, he's inserted a row, then he's writing some text. Okay, he's writing some text in A1, that is employer ID. Just I can show you. See, uh he just selected a row, he just made a thing. See, he just made a thing, he just did this, or he named this cell as this. Okay, he named this thing cell as this one this. Then he, what he did, he made a bold, everything letter bold. He was writing every code for us. He's quite great, right? So he was writing, this is our visual assistance. So we have a visual assistant tool which is called record macros. So he will be recording, instead of we writing the code, he'll be sitting and recording. He'll be watching us like what we are doing. Okay, so he'll be recording, okay, this guy this guy this. Okay, so when we just go to the similar table, when we just click, when we have the button, see, we have the button here. If I just click this button, automatically it does again and again. Okay, so I'll delete this. See, easy, no? I don't want to do sit for a while. I don't want to sit for things this much time. Again, I want to shorter things. I don't want to do. I'll just do a single click as of this. This is something date. It was like this. When I introduce a button and say, this was the program actually you want to do. So it was unsorted, right? So when I just say run the program, run that program, it is a button like you have in your toys. Okay, so if I just say run this, it does that. See what it doing, it just executing the code. First insert a row, everything it was doing, then make this that this, and our job done. So automatically we did, and it was repetitive, right? So we didn't do anything, it was just automatic. What at all we did in that form, automatically it got imported to this form. So I can just import another thing. See, uh, if I delete this, if I make this thing short date, and then I make this thing general. Okay, so I'll just uh, see, I just create another sheet. Okay, I'll just copy the entire content. Okay, I have here. Okay, I have here. See, it's something worse than this, right? So if I just click here, it just does my work. If I just say developer add that button here also, just edit this here also. I can say button 2 which does the data of this, right? So okay, so this was the button. I just enlarge this button for user's sake. I'll say this is again something magical tool. Okay, I'll say magical tool. If I just click it, it does my way. I don't want to bother, it does really everything. I don't want to equally space it, I don't want to do anything. It does my way. I don't want to correct my things, everything. It does the things. I don't want to get involved in anything. It's my data is the important thing. so I can enter my data irrespective of wasting my entire time in this. Okay, so you as I said before, you can say, you can now correlate, no? So how companies are sending n number of messages, how people are doing repetitive tasks, right? This repetitive task you noted which department, whether it is a digital marketing, whether it is a product sale, whether it is an administration, any purpose, any purpose, you'll be working on this automation, whichever field you go, whether it may be pharmacy, it is anything, okay? Pharmacy, engineering, arts, science, anything, if you go, the first thing they'll be working on is automation. They won't be doing sitting and doing every time the same work. They will just do a work and they will assign to me an automatic thing. Okay, so every time they don't want to spend this some time doing the same task, so doing the same repetitive task, so what they will be doing, they'll be doing this automation work. So it will be automatic too, so they can change the time, save the time, and then it will repetitive too. How many times if you want also you can just use. Okay, so this is very basic about a VBA and a macros. Okay, so in next lecture we'll see about how to work on further, like we'll proceed further on how to work with macros and VBA. Okay, thank you guys.